time for Mania, baby. I am here. It is Caps, Deeks, and Shades. Yeah, what's good, guys? You good?
Yeah, not bad. All good.
Good. Shades?
How are you doing? Mania season again, boys. I'm so ready for it. I'm good.
We are. I will say, firstly, I do want to try and capture this by saying some people, I'm not saying names, some people aren't happy with the way things have been done for Mania. Some people don't mind it. Some people are very irritated. Okay? So in terms of how we feel about it, that is a conversation we may, if we have time, go on like the end. I don't want to go on a big ass tangent now and then kind of ruin the feel for what we're doing about Mania. So if you have discrepancies, things to moan about to do with Mania, issues with Mania on the build, the way they've done things, stick it in the comments. We will come back to them at a later date. Okay, so before we go any further, if you would like to have a refreshing beverage while we're doing the stream, then I suggest Rogue Energy. That's right, Rogue Energy. Unleash your potential with Rogue Energy. It is the premium energy drink that fuels your focus, whether you are streaming, gaming, working, or hitting a gym. There's no jitters, just sustained energy. Elevate your day with Rogue. Use the code THEHOUNDS. That's THEHOUNDS. That's code THEHOUNDS. That's THEHOUNDS. At the checkout for 10% off. You can use that once per purchase, but you can use it on every single purchase. Gentlemen, are you ready to talk WrestleMania?
Oh yeah.
Like that, nice. I like that little macho man.
Whoa.
Wow, shut up. All right, so according to the card prediction and the way things are going, I guess the card prediction, we know it's happening night 1, night 2 in Vary. We don't know the order other than the main events. So I'm just going to go by what we've got written down as Wikipedia have got it. Card is subject to move around, also subject to change. As always, this isn't our order. This is what's already online, so we're just following off on what's online. So, guys, we're starting off with the War Raiders. That's Erik and Ivar as champions. The World Tag Team Champions going off against the New Day, which is Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
Interesting.
Honestly, I'll make this nice, short, and sweet, to be honest. I don't want to go on a tangent. I think if anything that isn't on the card, it should be this one. However, we'll talk about this at the end. Sticking with what the prediction would be, I've got to give it to the War Raiders. I mean, I know the idea of the New Day being heel is they're not to be liked and they're to be hated and things like that. I just don't like this direction of them turning heel. They turned on Big E, fine. That's been over and done with. There's been nothing since then. And they're just walking around backstage like bullies, like school bullies. They're not doing anything in particular.
Nope.
So I'm not enjoying this heel run of the New Day. So for that reason and that reason only, I go with the War Raiders. Let's go Shades first and then Deeks next.
I don't like the New Day. I don't like what they're doing. I don't like the whole.
Or is that the way they've been?
Just in general.
Right.
The past what? Ever since they kicked out Big E in that vicious way, it's just, what's the point? They show up, they do an interview, they moan to Mysterio backstage, they moan to someone else backstage, and now they're in WrestleMania.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and this is Shade's opinion, they haven't earned a spot at Mania. The War Raiders have. Even if they weren't champions, everything the War Raiders have done, they deserve to be there. They're there as champions. My prediction, they stay there as champions. If it goes to the New Day, then that's just bad booking, in my opinion.
That's fair enough. All right, Deeks.
I like the War Raiders a lot. I think they're a good tag team and they've got good talent. But I don't like New Day. But I think New Day are going to win it.
You think New Day are winning?
Yeah.
Well, there's always one.
Wow. I mean, it's nice to have it as a mix-up.
Yeah.
You think they're going to use this as a way to push them a little bit more then? And
Push them how? They haven't done anything.
This is going to be the push that they're going to get.
Yeah, this is going to get their push started, but they're going to win it, but not clean.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I can see that. I can see that happening. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm down with that. All right.
Yeah.
Next we have, this is night one, by the way. Everything that we're talking about so far, night one. So next match up on night one is Rey Mysterio against El Grande Americano. Which, rumor has it, it could be Omos. I'm just saying.
No, you're wrong. That is Abafemi.
It could be someone. Do you? All right. So, firstly, there's two things that we need to talk about here. Two things. Firstly, we need a prediction, and then secondly, I've got a follow-up question after we've had that prediction. So, Shades, I'll let you go. Deeks, I'll let you go first this time. Give us your prediction: Rey versus El Grande Americano.
I love Rey. Rey's a great legend. I love him to pieces, but I don't think it's a winners match. I think El Grande's gonna win it.
Okay. Jade?
Rey to win. Done and dusted. Chad get. What's his? Abafemi. No. El Grande Americano to lose.
Fair enough. All right. I'm going El Grande Americano to win, actually. I don't think Rey's getting the win here. I think there's some tomfoolery that's about to happen.
Well, now that you mention that, can't you see? I'm going to break the fourth wall on this one.
Right.
With this, because we know who's behind this mask. So what happens if American made? If on a different, like, we get a video clip somewhere, maybe on SmackDown to come, where Chad Gable sends American Made out to help El Grande Americano.
I mean, I'm all for it. I'm shocked that you know who's behind this mask, because to everyone else, it's a big ass mystery, man.
They haven't really just. I love. We all know who it is, and I love the fact. I honestly love the fact that they're going with the who is it? Who is this guy? When he's just, they haven't. The mask doesn't even fully cover his face.
I like it. I really like it.
It's a good storyline.
I'm enjoying it. I would say that. So my next question, the follow-up question, obviously, what I was going to say is, so we gave our predictions. Obviously, who's going to win, either Rey or El Grande.
Oh yeah.
With it being said, in all seriousness, obviously, yes, it's Chad Gable. Do we think there is a mask removal of El Grande Americano?
Yes.
In two ways. One, do we think the unmasking is going to be the reason that he loses, or do you think the unmasking will happen but he'll still win?
I just think he'll be unmasked.
Okay. Do you think that'll play as a part of the match itself, or what?
Who was it recently who got unmasked?
Dragon Lee, no?
Dragon Lee. What happens if maybe Dragon Lee comes out to unmask him, but what happens if El Grande Americano unmasks our legend in Rey Mysterio?
Rey's been unmasked before.
I know, but like, we've got to think that's a long time ago. Even if Rey gets unmasked at Mania, that's still a huge moment.
Yeah, hang on. Deeks?
Thing is, we see Rey wrestling years and years ago without a mask for years, so it's no surprise there what was under the mask.
Yeah, I get that. I think if anything's going to be unmasked, El Grande's getting unmasked.
See, going with that on Grande unmasking, it will happen, but it won't be who you think is under the mask. They will change it somehow.
You think they'll do like a
switcheroo?
like twin magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. It'd be cool to see.
Twin magic. You know how before Ray's technically worn, like, covered up everything with some attires. Yeah. What if Dragon Lee, they do the switcheroo, you don't know it's Dragon Lee because they're wearing like old style Ray fully covered up.
Well, you think Ray's getting unmasked?
No, I think Ray could get unmasked, Dragon Lee could get unmasked. But what?
I think if anyone's getting unmasked, it's El Grande.
Yeah, it's El Grande. But they're going to unmask him, but it's not going to be him.
No. If Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, they could wear the same attire, but you know like how Rey used to be, fully, you couldn't see skin.
Oh, so you think they're going to do twin magic?
Twin magic with them two. Dragon Lee gets to unmask El Grande and get revenge. Rey wins the match.
I don't know, man. That's a weird booking. I'm not going to lie. That is a strange booking.
Hey. What's the past 3 weeks been about?
For me, dude, it's a bit OTT for me, mate.
I would say if anyone's doing twin magic, it'll be El Grande to avoid. So then when they pull the mask off, it's revealed that it's not Chad Gable.
Yeah.
That's the route that I'm going at.
That makes more sense.
Who would you put under there? One of the Creed brothers?
No, we see it the other week when he had someone walking in the background when he was in his video. It could be that person just for a second.
Oh yeah,
they're going to pull the mask off exactly. So it doesn't matter who it is. It's just as long as it looks like El Grande.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, El Grande quite good in the ring.
He is.
It's Chad Gable, for fuck's sake. Come on.
That Hurricane Rana is great.
It is. I like it. Right, let's move on. All right, so next we've got Jade Cargill versus Naomi singles match.
I can make this quick and easy. Jade to win, hands down, no questions asked. Moving on.
Okay, Shades, Deeks even.
I'm going to go with the new twisted Naomi to win this match.
Oh, see, I feel like Naomi could get like a real cheap victory here, like a real like something that she'll do, and she'll really pull something out of the bag. At the same time, I would love to have Jade Cargill dominate Naomi and just make a mess of her.
Revenge is best
kind of like revenge like we got at the Chamber, but even
this is more revenge.
That's what I mean.
Thing is, Naomi's revealing new tricks in her arsenal every week. So I think one of them's going to come out and surprise her, and that's how she wins.
Yeah, I see that. I can see that. I will say though, I am more on the Jade Cargill side than I am Naomi.
A storm is coming.
My biggest thing though, right, and I say this. Obviously, I say this because I think it would be more beneficial. Is I think having Naomi drop this glow thing that she does, and just be dead set serious with the way she is, cut all of her promos proper deadpan. There's no emotion there, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Real like sinister, and then take away the stuff that makes her the face, which is the glowy stuff. I think just by doing that, it wouldn't be a drastic change, but I think it would be a big enough change that people would see Naomi as like a legit threat. I would love to see that happen.
Naomi's new attire, I actually like that.
Yeah, I just don't like the glowness. The glow bit has to go now.
Yeah, but the thing is that will probably happen at WrestleMania. She'll probably take it away at WrestleMania.
I hope so.
On her entrance, it'll be no glow.
I think there'll be glow at Mania.
Yeah, I think because it's going to be the biggest stage for them to do it. The glow, I think, will be there. It's going to be prominent because obviously the glow is going to be a really big part of her entrance.
But when she loses at Mania and appears on whatever show she wants to appear on, that's when you'll get badass no glow.
But I think you should get that before Mania to really cement the fact that we believe she's going to win. That's what I mean. That's why I would rather it been done sooner. But anyway, let's move on to another. We are going on to LA Knight, against Jacob Fatu. Obviously, LA Knight right now is the United States champion. Title is on the line in a singles match. Deeks, I'll let you go first on this one. Are you going with the Samoan werewolf himself or the megastar to be victorious? Who is it?
So out and out toughness and resiliency and brutalness he has inside him, I'm going for the wolf himself. I'm sorry.
Werewolf. Yeah, no, I agree. Okay. Shade?
This is a good match.
It is.
You have LA Knight on one side that we've seen dominate in the past. And then you have the Madman, the ring post prayer.
He is, yes.
The Samoan werewolf of just sheer I'm angry and crazy all the time. Fatu. But you boys are forgetting one thing.
What?
Fatu has friends.
He does.
So if his friends get involved, then Fatu to win. If these friends do not get involved with the ring walker, stands in a corner, two hands together, like praying for 10, 20 minutes during the match. If they don't get involved, LA Knight can win.
I don't know, man.
But it's WrestleMania.
This is my hardest one to call.
When it's WrestleMania, whenever we've had Mania and one of these crazy individuals in there from Bloodline, even though there is no real Bloodline anymore, then they've always had some form of interference.
Yeah. But
when
no interference solidifies how dominant Jacob Fatu is.
I think if interference happens, Jacob, let's not forget, like Jacob and Solo and Tonga.
Yeah.
Not been seeing eye to eye lately either.
Yeah, that's true. So who are you going with?
The ring post prayer, Fatu.
Okay. I think LA Knight needs to retain because I'll be honest, the title hasn't had the best of luck recently. And I think I don't know, I feel like it can go one or two ways. Because if LA Knight holds it victorious, right? Great. Because the last person to have it was Shinsuke Nakamura and they did nothing with it. So I just feel like they have to do something with his title to give it some meaning again, because at the moment it's just playing second fiddle to everything else.
It went from Logan Paul, to LA,
Shinsuke, back to LA.
Now we're back to LA,
right? And tell me the last match of Shinsuke since he had that title that wasn't against LA Knight that really made that belt mean something.
Don't remember any of them.
Exactly. That's my point. So I think one of two things is going to happen, right? We either get LA Knight holding it and being victorious, obviously with the custom strap, and then from there we get a nice run, or that doesn't happen. We get Jacob Fatu, he takes the title and he gives it a proper legendary run, and he's like just destructive with it. So are
we talking like Gunther Intercontinental run?
Yeah.
Ooh. I'd like to see that.
I wouldn't be against that. So for the reason that I feel like the title needs to have something, I'm in two minds. Because LA Knight can do something with it because he's a great talker, but then so is Jacob Fatu.
Fatu is just
standing out would be great.
Fatu, great on the mic, great in the ring, great beating people up out backstage. great at
Exactly.
praying.
You shut
Like
up about
every
it, like it's
no, it's part of his thing. Like if he stopped doing it, people would complain.
yeah, but the only one that picks up on it is you. You're the only one that talks about it.
Because we
Only
sat there live and watched the man for 15 minutes do it, and he didn't move a muscle.
Yeah, but
He
this
didn't
is the
twitch.
difference, right? Everyone else was watching the stuff going on the ring, and you were standing there looking at Jacob Fatu pray to the ring post. You even took a photo. So the only person that's actually paying attention to anything that Jacob Fatu does at ringside is you. Literally
Because
you.
you never know what he's going to do. But for 15 minutes, well, I kept pointing out he hasn't moved. So
yeah, I don't know.
like, we got a badass in a US title match at Mania.
I think it's going to be
Whoever
really
wins, it doesn't matter who wins, because LA Knight, as you said, can save it. Fatu can have a legendary run. But I think the run will mean more if Fatu takes it.
Yeah, I think I am in agreement there. I do think even if LA Knight has it, it's a transitional just for like 38 days that he's had it for. I think if that is the case, Jacob Fatu takes it. I think we get a really lengthy run with this title because I feel we could have Solo now being irritated that Jacob's got a title.
I was just about to say that right there. Do you think the rest of the bloodline will get iffy with Jacob because he has a championship?
Yeah. So I reckon for the story that we can get from that, I'll go Jacob Fatu.
Thing is, Jacob Fatu does not need them now two guys at all. He's a badass. He's kicking everyone's ass. He doesn't need them. They're holding him back.
Yeah, fully. But you always need someone else sitting around you. You know, especially when you're in that kind of position. I think Jacob Fatu is perfect in that position. I really do. So, all right, let's move on. Let's move on to.
There is one thing we can bring up in that match.
Go on, real quick.
I don't know because is he still out with injury? Tongaloa.
There's been no update.
Might be the time that we get all four of them back.
We'll see, but maybe. I don't know. Like I said there's been no update on the injury and stuff like that. I just think when it happens, it'll be really good because they'll be reunited. Right, let's move on to Tiffany Stratton, champion, women's WWE Women's Champion, facing Charlotte Flair. All right, so I'll give a quick backstory on this. Obviously, the crossing of promos, bringing the reality back into the wrestling world. Apparently, they went off script or they weren't on script or something like that. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't really think anyone does. It's all speculation. That being said, this match has huge potential to be really, 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 really good. I'm not saying it will steal the show, but I think if they're given time and they're produced well, and let's say, for example, I'm just trying to think if let's say, for example, TJ, Natty's husband, I reckon if he was to produce the match, I think it would be very, very special. I really do. Because he loves pushing women's wrestling, and I think these two have something special between them. Obviously, I don't know the backstage politics. I don't think anyone does. However, that being said, let's push that to one. I can't say we can push it to a side to make our decision, but at the same time, it's involved in what's going on, so it's hard to really call what's going on. In terms of match, I would like it that Tiffany Stratton was to retain. I don't think this is the moment that Flair doesn't need. I think Tiffany Stratton. I would like Stratton to retain. I don't think Flair currently needs the win. I just don't see it. I mean, she's like a 14-time champion already. You know, like women's champion already. There's other women's mid-card titles that she could hold and put some legacy on. I think Tiffany Stratton right now needs to do her best work, and I think that is her becoming retaining the championship. So my prediction, Tiffany Stratton. Deeks?
I'll go last. Go on, Shades.
Interesting that you want to go last. Now, in one corner, 14-time champion.
Ooh.
In the other corner, someone on a pure badass run.
Debatable, but sure.
She's on a better run than some men titles right now.
We'll get onto that at a later date. Carry on.
You know?
Yeah.
Is it Tiffy time or is it Woo time? This is a good question. As you said, I agree with you. She doesn't need the title. She has 14. I'd like to see her go after Intercontinental and stuff like that. You know, Flair can do a lot for the mid card of the division to help push those over more. And right now, Tiffy can do a lot more with keeping the title to keep pushing the top tier competitors even further.
Yeah.
So, Tiffy to win.
Okay. Deeks?
Both girls are highly athletic. both have moonsaults in their arsenal, are both excellent. They're both tough as nails. But unfortunately, TV time's up. Flair's going to stay 15-time champion.
Damn.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, why though? Why?
Flair, over the last couple of weeks, has been highly aggressive and attacking constantly, which makes me think Flair is more eager to destroy Tiffy time than we think.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Not wrong. Not wrong. She's been very aggressive lately.
Yeah.
That's why I say Flair to win. Just because
I really want this to be this to be a great match.
It's going to be a solid match.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking about things that we may happen, guys, something that I find really, really interesting. Obviously, there's
interesting
statistics wise, even. I need to go back and check actually how it was last year. Actually, no, it wasn't last year. I'd have to check the year prior. But basically, we've got night one having both Royal Rumble winners on the show instead of one on night one and one on night two, and vice versa. Obviously, next match we're talking about is Gunther, who is currently the World Heavyweight Champion, against the Yeet Man himself, Jay Uso.
Is this in the main event?
This isn't the main event. We know what the main event is.
Oh yeah.
Night one. We know what the main event is. This
should be an main event, but it's not.
Hang on. Shades has just plugged our video from a little while ago that you can go look at where we talk about WrestleMania has no main event.
Well, WrestleMania does have a main event. It has two of them. However,
no, the Royal Rumble main event winners are not in the main event that we spoke about. You can go check out that video if you agree with me, Diggs, or Caps.
Yeah,
have a watch.
Annoyingly, I can't find the damn graphic. But essentially, we spoke about the idea of not having either Royal Rumble winner in the main event, and I think it's ridiculous the fact that we have no Royal Rumble winner in the WrestleMania main event when, in terms of when they win the Rumble, they literally say the winner will be WrestleMania main event. We'll go on to main event of WrestleMania. So we've kind of discussed this, probably at length on and off camera. And I think it's kind of unanimous that people are annoyed. I think in terms of what's happening, people are annoyed. I don't know if you guys feel the same. I mean, after watching the show recently, do you still feel the same? Do you disagree? Do you still agree with what you said? What?
I'll stick with the my line that I used in our video that was released recently.
Yeah.
I would be much happier if you changed the line that you use at Royal Rumble so you get a
Yeah.
spot on the card
Yeah.
at WrestleMania.
Or the wording is you will go on to face one of the champions at WrestleMania. This is
Something like that. You know?
so yeah, please go and check out that video if you haven't already. Obviously, it's us giving our thoughts and opinions on the fact that both Royal Rumble winners aren't main eventing WrestleMania, night 1 or night 2. That being said, I don't want that to take away from this match. So,
this is
who wants
such
to
an
go
easy
first? Who
one
wants to
to
go
call.
first?
It's so
wants to go
simple. It's
your
so
one- one
simple
minute.
from the table
Go on,
standing yeet man to win.
Okay, I want to go first. I'll second them.
Table standing yeet man. That sounds like Pat McAfee.
Hey, you never know. Interference. Jey Uso to win, retain, become the new champion, and go on a legendary run.
All right. Thanks. Is he dead?
Jey Uso will not win this match. He will try his hardest,
my
but he will lose.
Blasphemy.
Gunther to retain at WrestleMania.
Blasphemy. Screw you. Screw your opinion. Blasphemy. Jay to win, Jimmy to get involved, Gunther to be covered in blood.
The Yeet Man hasn't got enough in the tank to beat Gunther.
Oh, that was. Biggs is shooting from the hip.
I swear. How can he not have enough in the tank when he has enough to party for 4 minutes every time Netflix runs to a commercial?
That's why, because he's partying for 4 minutes before
yeah, but then he can still pull his weight in the ring. Have you not watched wrestling? You fall on your head this morning. How can you say that Gunther is going to retain the title? There is no chance. No chance.
Well, that's his prediction. We can't argue with that.
Yes, I can.
All right, let me weigh in quickly. So,
off.
Look, I'm in really two minds. If Jey Uso was to win, I think I would be overjoyed. Like I've been, Big knows, I've been a huge Uso fan. I think since before they was even like covered in paint, and coming out and doing their version of a Huckart and stuff like that, you know, like huge Uso fan, and nothing's changed.
Hell yeah.
I've been on other podcasts, friends' podcasts, when we've discussed wrestling, Usos have come up, and I've said exactly the same thing. I'm a big fan. Would I like Jey Uso to win? Yes, I got teary and emotional when he won the IC title because I think the story and the way things happened there.
Not the only one.
I literally said to one of my friends, I think if Jey wins, I literally think I'd feel the same again. I think it'd be incredible to see. I think it'd be great. I think the fans would go home happy from that. Can he beat Gunther is another story. The story of what they're telling is he's like 2 or 3-0. He's never beaten him. Every time he has slip ups, he has accidents, and you know things like that. He flew over the ring, he slipped, he's lost his foot in. I think there's too much build now, and especially the stuff with Jimmy. There's too much build now to a point where I think what we're gonna get now is we're gonna get to the point where Jey has literally got nothing left in the tank, nothing at all, and then he's at that point where the match is done. I generally think that's when Jimmy's going to come out and the life is going to go back into Jey, and Jey will then have that big win. I think that's the story that's going to be told here. I don't think he's going to be able to do it without his brother. And I think that's going to be great because then Jey and Jimmy get to celebrate in a ring together.
They started their run together. They're going to end on a high note together at Mania.
So them having that moment, just them, I think would be incredible. So my prediction is Jey Uso for a big fairy tale finish. And finally, the main event of night 1, guys. Night 1 main event. Hold your thoughts. Is the big dog?
Ready.
Can we say that anymore? The tribal chief, even. The voice of the voiceless and the architect are against each other. That's right. Roman Reigns, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. CM
ready.
Punk, by the way, with Paul Heyman. That's important
Yep.
factor there. CM Punk
So ready.
Paul Heyman. So you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Then just for that, you can go last. Deeks. Deeks. What's your opinion here?
Tribal Chief, no. Punk, no.
Ooh.
Architect, no.
Ooh.
There's no winner in this match. It's going to end in a triple count. It's going to end in a triple count out.
Paul Heyman wins.
They can't end in a triple count out.
All three guys will get knocked out, and the referee will have to end it.
They won't be able to. It's a triple threat. There's no rules in a triple threat.
Paul Heyman wins.
I can't see a win this match. All these guys are going to kick the hell out of each other, and there's not going to be a winner.
All right. I'll hold you on that for a sec. You just hold your thought there. All right, Jade.
It's the man, the myth, the legend, the voice of the voice, the CM Punk gonna destroy two members of the Shield. The Tribal Chief, the Architect, no more. Paul Heyman guy, Roman Reigns, no more. We're going to get CM Punk win at WrestleMania. We're going to get CM Punk back with Paul Heyman.
All right. Okay, this is my opinion. Now, we know CM Punk is... So, CM Punk is a very, very, very early Paul Heyman guy. We know this.
Early? He's the first Paul Heyman guy.
Arguably, probably, yes. It depends on how you look at it. Obviously, ECW.
It's a fact.
As well.
They said it on Raw as well.
Yes, but if you include ECW, Tommy Dreamer was a guy for Paul Heyman. So
I know, but WWE don't really do ECW. They allowed it at the Hall of Fame when Paul.
Yeah, and who?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
And who inducted Paul Heyman?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns. Right, there we go then. So he didn't ask his best friend, CM Punk, he asked Roman. So there's leverage there. There's something there. You got to remember that. Right? But as I was saying, Punk arguably, yes, is the very first, I guess, if you want to call it that, Heyman guy. However, I would say, depends on how you look at it, because Brock was around before then. Obviously, before that, we had ECW. However, on terms of storytelling, Punk was the first Heyman guy because of OVW and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. Then, yes, we have Roman Reigns. And obviously, according to Seth Rollins, now Heyman owes him a favor because he didn't stamp on his head a couple of weeks ago, story-wise. So, with that being said, I think it's very, very interesting. Shades, are you still there? You're muted.
Yeah, I'm still here. Just changing rooms. I'll be 10 seconds.
All right, so I'll let you change your rooms. Once you're done, unmute yourself so I can see. Guys, listen, I have a theory here. Firstly, one thing I do feel like we are going to get is, again, we're going to get the famous Shield chair shot. Now, I think there's going to be a moment in the match where chairs are involved, and I do believe this time it's going to be... Actually, don't know who's going to be hitting with swinging the chair, should we say. However, I do know that I feel like the chair shot is going to come into play again. I think it's inevitable, as Spanos would say, that's going to happen. What I will say is
the interruption. Didn't we already get that chair shot?
Yeah, I think we're going to get it again. Because it's becoming big storytelling now with that chair. Because obviously the first person to do it was Seth. Then we got another chair shot at a later date. I can't remember who that was.
We got one on just now on Raw, innit?
Yeah, okay. So the big times it has happened of importance. Seth turning on the Shield the first time. Then Roman Reigns, instead of hitting Cody at last year's WrestleMania, put his sights on Seth Rollins, and then hit Seth with the chair because he needed that revenge. And then we also got that chair shot on Raw just gone. Okay? So we know this chair shot's going to be of importance. I actually think this time, maybe Roman or Punk hits one of them, so and so like that. Someone's definitely getting hit with a chair shot. I don't know what way it's going to go, but I feel like it's going to be important.
Can I go OTT on the chair shot prediction real quick?
One second. Right? But this is my prediction. I actually think Seth Rollins is winning this match. And I think he is an architect. He is a man that knows that there is a plan B and a plan C because he was aligned with Triple H. Okay? So I actually think we could be walking out of WrestleMania with Seth Rollins being victorious in this match with Paul Heyman by his side. I think Paul Heyman will be with Seth Rollins at the end of this match and they'll be walking out together. And I think that's the story that we're going to get here.
I like that. What we've just done is what we've seen over the past few weeks. Everyone wants Paul Heyman. Or a favor from Heyman. Now, back to the chair shot. And I'm going to go OTT with the chair shot. What if Paul Heyman gives the chair shot to someone?
Who?
Or two people. So let's go over the top real quick. Paul Heyman chair shots Roman Reigns in the back.
Right.
You know, been put through a lot in the past. And then let's look at Raw when we've all seen Raw.
Yeah. I've got
where Paul Heyman gets pushed to the mat by Roman.
Mm-hmm.
So Paul giving the chair shot, you know, you pushed me down, take a chair to the back. But what if, now I'm going over the top with your point, what if Seth Rollins is the next Paul Heyman guy? Do we get the best friend betrayal of a chair shot to the back of CM Punk when he's about to give a GTS?
What? By who?
By Paul Heyman.
Yeah, that's literally what I was going to say.
That would be the ultimate.
I think that would be insane. I think having Roman, let's say for example, we have Roman hit Seth, right? And then we have with the chair shot. Then we get, while that's happening, Punk gets in the ring. He hits Roman with that pattern chair shot, the shield chair shot, right? Then drops the chair. And then let's say Roman falls out of the ring. Seth, still in the ring, gets picked up to do the GTS. And as it's about to happen, Heyman hits Punk with the chair shot. And then Punk drops to his knees, gets curb stomped, and then gets the victory. I think that would be such a great end in what would happen.
Again, good.
I'd be happy. I would happily see that.
I've got a big wild card one for you here. What if going along the line of the Shield and the chair shot?
Yeah.
What if one night only we get a return of Dean Ambrose and he assists Roman to win?
I mean, look, if we're
is Dean Ambrose in contract or out of contract right now?
He's in contract with AEW. He's no. He's currently the AEW champion.
Yeah.
And that's my point. They're not gonna allow him to come to Mania.
That's never gonna happen.
Never.
People thought it last
If it did happen, if it did happen, I would high five you.
It's not happening. There's no way.
It's a wild card shout out. You know what I mean? It could happen.
Yeah.
You know, Roman Reigns would call in a favour from his old buddy Dean Ambrose just for one night, jump the barrier, attack Punk and Seth, and then retreat.
Well, first, Roman needs to pay Tony Khan a lot of millions.
As much as I'd love to see that happen, that's never happening. Right? However, I enjoy the wild card. I think that'd be an insane prediction.
If it happens, I'm going to be in all shock.
There is more chance of Gunther spreading wings and learning to fly in this match against Jey Uso than there is.
He can fly. He doesn't flash.
I mean, with wings. But yeah, all right. So let's run this down quickly. So my prediction is Seth Rollins is walking out victorious with Paul Heyman. Deeks?
I'll go Roman on a whim.
Mm-hmm. All right, Shades.
CM Punk with Paul Heyman.
All right. So that's night 1 done. Okay, that's night 1 done. Let's get on to night 2. Okay, so night 2, April the 20th. Now, again, obviously, the match order was not official other than the main event. But obviously, this is going by just what we've got on Wikipedia. So, ladies and gentlemen, we start off with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez as the women's tag team champions, going against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, who is the current WWE Intercontinental Champion. Now, I'm already irritated by something here, but I'm not going to spew my irritation yet. This match alone, I think, is going to be interesting. I'm going to quickly go first on this one. So I think this is either going to go one or two ways, okay? I think Liv and Raquel win and are victorious and are still champions. But it's going to be because of an issue between Bayley and Lyra. I think the idea here is to set up a match between Bayley and Lyra. So I would say Liv and Raquel are going to win. However, the match is going to end due to, let's say, for example, there's going to be a pinfall or something like that. One of them's not going to be able to get in. They're going to be just short of it. And then after the match, we're going to get a Bayley heel turn. I think Bayley turns heel. And then the whole thing about this is actually for the IC title. So I'm going Liv and Raquel to win because another story is going to be told.
Interesting.
Jade?
This is a hard one to call.
While you're waiting, Diggs, do you want to give your opinion, your view?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm going to go against you, mate. I think Bayley is going to win it.
Okay.
She's recently
Bayley and Lyra are going to win.
Yeah, she's recently broken her losing streak by winning the gauntlet match, then beating Liv. So she's got herself back in the groove again. So I think that groove's going to help her and Lyra win titles. So.
Okay. Shades?
Bring the graphic up for a minute. You got 4 badasses right there.
Indeed.
It's very rare that we get 2 teams with this quality.
Right.
Now, do the Judgment Day take the title? And retain?
And
retain?
I mean, it's up.
Or do Lyra and Bayley take the titles? Do the Judgment Day somehow get involved in the match to keep the titles?
I can't see anyone getting involved in this.
You never know. You never know what Apple Eater will do.
Yeah, I just don't see a story to tell there. I think there's gonna. This is why I was saying. I think the way I've kind of, on my prediction, the way I've kind of predicted it is either it's going to go one or two ways. It's either going to be the story here is told that one of them falls short, probably Lyra falls short and can't break up a pin, and that's why Bayley gets pinned. And because of that, Bayley attacks Lyra, and this is the start of a Bayley. Or Liv and Morgan lose. Sorry, Liv Morgan and Raquel will lose. Bayley and Lyra win, and then from that we get the same story of them breaking up. But again, it then falls into Lyra's already a champion, and the story there doesn't need to be that she's a double champ. We've had this story before. Double champ, someone's a single champ, and then if they lose, then they break up that tag team. It's just messy. I think you don't need another makeshift tag team when you have an established one right there, in my opinion. Which is why I think Lyra and Bayley will lose, and this will be the start of a feud between them and the IC title. That's what swayed me that way. That's the only reason.
Lyra and Bayley to win.
Interested. Okay.
No heel turn, no rage, Just straight win.
Okay. Here we go. Next match. We have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul in a singles match. All right, guys. This is gonna be interesting. I'll let Shad go first on this one.
AJ to win, hands down, flat out,
Okay.
bulldoze. But what I will say is, I think this is going to be a great match.
It's gonna be good. I think it'll be a good match.
You've got two top tier high flyers, great technical ability. I can't believe those words come out of my mouth with Logan Paul, but you can't deny how great he is inside that square circle. It's like when he joined wrestling, it was like a duck to water.
Yeah.
But I think AJ's got this one.
Okay. Diggs, what's your prediction for this?
I can't stand Logan Paul, but I think Logan Paul's going to steal it and win it.
Ooh,
interesting.
Very.
I like that. See, I think the story here is. I'm amazed I'm actually going to say this, but I actually think Logan Paul's winning.
Oh wow!
What is wrong with you two? What is wrong with you two?
Because there's something more with Karrion Kross and AJ Styles to be told.
That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't going to say it.
I think there's more to be told between this. And I think Logan Paul getting a victory over AJ Styles is another reason for everyone want to hate him even more, and then him go on to do something. I can see Logan. He's already held a mid-card title. He's taking it more serious, then he needs to. This is the thing. If Logan's going to take wrestling more serious, be around the WWE a lot more, which is apparently what he said and what he wants to do, right? Then at some point, he's going to have to be taken as serious as he is a wrestler. Did he go the same route as everyone else? No. He went through the back route because he's a celebrity. Fine. Other people have done that. But they've never been as good as how good Logan is. You can't, no matter how many people want to put hate on Logan's name for how he was previously or his mannerisms, what he's like as a person. I don't know any of that. But you know what I do see? I see someone that can put on a hell of a show and make themselves look incredibly good against top talent in WWE. And if that's what you're seeing as a wrestler, that's what we're seeing for wrestling. I'm looking at it as a wrestler, same as everything else. So, in my opinion, I think Logan is a really good wrestler. And
hands down, Logan Paul's got talent. Hands down. He's got talent all day long. He can pull more moves off that other wrestlers can't even do.
Exactly.
You know,
there is some moves that he does that other people can't do. And I must say, I know people are hating on it, but his finisher is beautiful. Like
the new one,
backflip, the way the backflip goes into that inverted DDT. Oh my goodness,
he's nice.
So look, I'm going Logan Paul. I think Logan needs to win here. One, because I think it'll be a good way to really put some stock on Logan. Because yes, he is a hated person in WWE. And I think it's perfect to put hate on someone like that. Give him the win over AJ Styles. It's bragging. That's a bragging right there. The second thing, AJ Styles then gets another story and something to do to keep him occupied. Because I'd rather AJ be busy doing something and feuding with someone than doing nothing. If he gets this win, what happens? Nothing. If he doesn't get the win, something happens. So something's set up at AJ there. So in my mind, that's how I'm looking at it. So for that, I go Logan Paul.
Yeah, I agree. Logan Paul.
All right. Next we have. Now, to me, I think this actually could be match of the weekend. There's two. There's two that I think will be match of the weekend. I'm gonna put the first one up. Bang. We have Bron Breakker as the champion versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Fatal.
This is easy.
My only gripe with this, okay? I'm not moaning about anything else. Nothing of the people that are in the match. Nothing like that. My only issue is this: why didn't they just make it a fatal 4-way ladder match? Like just put the ladder in. No, why not? It's WrestleMania. Like, I appreciate these guys are probably going to tear the house down, but they could have tore the house down and then pulled the title down straight after. Like a ladder match, it's there. Everything is there for them. I don't know why we didn't get the ladder match. Other than that, that's my only gripe. My only gripe is the fact that it's not a ladder match. However, with or without a ladder, I think this match is going to be absolutely insane. I don't think the person that I'm going to say, I think you are going to say, maybe. I don't know. So
why don't you go last then?
Okay, I'll go last. Shades, I'll let you go first this time.
So first off, I'm not going to predict the wrestler. I want to see another spear that, like what was given to Carlito. That I've never seen a grown man fly that far before.
Man, that
spear amazing.
Was insane. The camera work for that spear was incredible. Incredible.
Credit where credit is due to Mr. Bron Breakker. That, for me, I can't believe I'm saying this because I never thought I would have to say it again. That is probably the best spear of all time.
It's incredible, right?
And I'm taking away, like, me saying that is taking my favorite spear of all time, which was a 30-foot spear in the air to Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, by Edge.
By Edge. You know, that was my favorite spear of all time. But no, you had dogs barking. He was charged. I've never seen someone move so fast and flatten a grown man and make him fly backwards so damn far.
Ron hit him with that spear so much that he flipped himself.
Yeah, like that was probably that
incredible.
It deserves a Slammy Award.
Oh my goodness, it was incredible. That spear was top.
Heard around the world,
man.
When I say I rewound Netflix like 12 times in a row just to keep seeing it.
I watched that a lot. I watched it a hell of a lot. And I think the more I watched it, the more I thought it was better. Like, the better it got. All right, so give me a prediction. I don't want a prediction on who's going to take a big-ass spear. But who do you think is going to get this win?
I want to see a big-ass spear. That's part of it. Yep. Now, I think that everyone's going to get speared by Bron. Yeah,
right.
You like. This is what I want to see. You know, where he runs the ropes and does a spear. You know, like madness. Yeah, I want to see one after another, after another, after another. Now, I don't think Bron's going to retain the title because of the numbers game. I think Penta will take it.
All right. Deeks?
I can see Braun Breaker hitting several spears in this match to retain his title.
Okay.
He's gonna start off with poor Carlito, who's gonna get demolished with a massive spear again. Then he's gonna add in. Yeah, he will.
Okay.
Carlito's gonna get a massive spear again out of his boots like he did last time. Then he's gonna go for Finn. Then he's gonna hit. Who's next? Penta. Next. Then he's gonna hit Dirty Dom to win the match.
So far, we've had 2 predictions, and all we've really predicted is 2 winners, and a lot of people are going to have sore stomachs.
Yes, sir. But who do you think is winning?
The winner's going to be the champ. He's going to retain.
You think? Okay. Right.
I love how you can't. We're not going to get this kind of prediction again for a long time. I picked Penta, he picked Bron, and we've both agreed that everyone's going to walk away with cracked ribs.
I agree with one thing, all right? So I agree that everyone's getting speared, 100%. Okay, there is going to be, it's going to become spear mania. That's what's going to happen.
Okay?
100%. Can I share a spot that I really wanted to see, which bounces off of what you said? I really wanted this to be a ladder match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would
And the
be
spot I
imagine Braun
wanted
just
to
spearing from a ladder. Oh my
that,
goodness.
no, what I want to see is he takes some. I don't know. They set up some contraption of ladders. You know, he runs at full pelt and spears someone from dangling from the title.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they without the force of they're going out of the arena.
Yeah,
Just land on canvas.
If you want to do that, then 2K25 is probably your best bet.
Like you can imagine that though. You know,
Yeah,
I want to see Braun in more extreme matches.
Don't forget, it's a fatal four-way, so there's no rules. Don't forget, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't. We're not going to get the cool ladder spot that we're looking for because there's no title hanging.
Here's my prediction. So we're going to get all the spears in the world. Yes, that's going to happen. I think this is how it's going to set up. Penta's going to be out. I don't think Penta's eating a pin here. Okay. I think this is interesting as well. There's going to be a moment where the two people that are dominant in a match, because let's face it, there's two members of Judgment Day in this match.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor. Now, I believe, not in Joe Henry, obviously, of course I do, but not for this moment. I believe that two members of the Judgment Day will be working together. Braun Breaker will hit a spear, and it's going to come from nowhere. We're just going to see a blur of Braun Breaker.
You're going to see legs fly.
Yeah, we're going to see Braun like that quick. Okay, like real quick.
You know.
And then it's what's going to happen. Dominic is going to move out of the way, and Finn Balor is going to get the spear. In doing so, I feel maybe Braun flies out of the ring. Something like that, right? Braun will fly out of the ring from the spear, leaving Finn Balor in the ring.
The
Dominic
dogs
Mysterio,
are fucking.
being the person that he is going to pin Finn Balor, and we are going to get Dominic Mysterio as the Intercontinental Champion.
So you think Dominic Mysterio is going to be the first ever North American champion and Intercontinental champion?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
With all this talk of spears, though, this comes to my mind. Surely now, after the spear we just witnessed and what we predict with spears at Mania, that before the match, that you remember the old advert, broken bones, torn muscles, dislocations, separations.
Yeah, we'll get something like that.
After every Braun Breaker spear, just play the advert again.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be really, 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 really.
I love your prediction, though. That's cool. Now, my wild card prediction is: what happens if Finn Balor pins Dom?
Then, I think it'll be the same thing. I think the problem is with it being Dominic being the person to do it. Wrong graphic. There we go. Dominic being the person to do it. I think it's going to be more shocking. If Finn Balor does it, we'll be like, oh, okay, it's Finn Balor. Like he's trying to, because there's problems there between them.
Let's not forget though, fatal four-way.
Yeah. So I think with Dom doing it, I think it's going to be a bigger shock for Dom.
What if all of the rest of the Judgment Day team up?
Well, the only other person there is Carlito. The women
have
come out already.
Yeah, but you know,
I don't see it. I think what Dick said. I think Carlito's going to come out and get hit with a spear. He's going to come out and bang, gone. He's in and out quicker than.
You know what I want to see? Who was it? Rumble. Who was it at Mania who tripped and went under halfway under the ring?
Yeah.
Titus O'Neil.
That was the greatest Royal Rumble, in Saudi, yeah.
I want to see a spear where Carlito ends up under the ring, knocked out cold.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a huge spear spot, and I think Carlito's going to be the one, weirdly, that gets that, even though it's not in the match. But yeah.
Nothing stops this man.
I generally think Dominic Mysterio is going to walk out as the IC champion. I think it'll be so good. And the fact that he's a heel already, people are going to hate the fact that it's happened.
You're not going with your boy Penta, though.
No. But I think Penta being in a match is going to be great. Go on, Dick.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah.
Do either of you two get a feeling of deja vu?
Of what?
Double champion again.
With
Finn and Dom both pin a champion. Somebody.
oh no, thank you.
That happened
No.
before, if I remember rightly. Years and years ago.
Yeah, we got a double
If that
champion.
happens, I'll probably pause Mania and go to bed.
I think
It's
last time there was
possible.
I can't remember when the last time there was a big deal with it. The time that always flies for me was before Royal Rumble 2000, Jericho and China.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And then again, and in the championship again.
Since then, I would say Michelle McCool and Layla as
Women's title.
when they've done it with
Yep.
the Divas title. Speaking of Michelle McCool being obviously inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, congratulations. That's coming up this week. But no, I don't see the double pin. I mean, it's a good, nice fantasy, clever because they put them together. But I can't see Dom wanting to share that title.
Hold on a minute. What happens if Dom pins Finn and Penta pins Breaker?
I don't know. I guess it comes down to referee's discretion. Whoever's hand lands first, doesn't it?
Or do we get maybe the game's music hit?
Maybe. I don't know. Double pin would be clever.
Yeah.
But I just put it this way. I think if anyone's eating a pin here, it's not going to be Penta and it's not going to be Breaker.
No, because that would hurt what they're doing right now.
The person to eat a pin would be Finn Balor.
Yeah.
As much as it hurts to get pinned at Mania, sometimes you need to bite the bullet.
But the thing is here, what's the best way to kick? Let's say, for example, that happens, right? Finn Balor later on then gets kicked out of the Judgment Day. What version of Finn Balor do we get back? We get the
Demon Finn Balor.
So even though he loses at Mania, we get a win with the Demon coming back. So
I've missed that form of Finn Balor. It's been far too long.
So yeah, look, for me, this is how I feel it's going to run down. I reckon Breaker maybe hits the spear, or even there's just two of them in the ring, right? Or just let's say, for example, it's just Finn Balor and Breaker in the ring. Breaker hits the spear. As he hits it, maybe he rolls out or something like that. I don't know. He rolls out of the ring. He gets attacked or something by Dom. Dom gets in the ring and pins Finn. I feel like that would be how I would like to see it go down, because then we get the heel moment from Dominic Mysterio. We get the crowd booing. He goes home with a title. Good for him. And then we get Demon Finn Balor appear. Then we get chasing.
This is definitely one to watch.
I think this could be great.
There's plenty of options in this match to happen, so it's going to give me an interesting match to watch.
Yeah.
Can I make a statement? This match is a creative dream.
Yeah, because anything can happen. Speaking of creative dreams and anything can happen, the next match is something people really want to see but don't want to see at the same time. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre.
In a Sin City street fight.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the gimmick and the idea of the street fight. They could just call it a street fight. They don't need to call it a Sin City street fight.
I know, but they're in Vegas. It's Sin City.
Yeah, I know.
They're just playing into the Vegas thing. It's like when you had the... what street fight was it with Kevin Owens?
I mean, you got the Chicago street fight and...
Everywhere to go with a street fight, it's named after anybody else. That's why.
New York street fight, ballroom brawl kind of.
It's like I don't know if you remember when we went to Sheffield, we had they didn't mention they called it in the announcement. They called it the Sheffield Street Fight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just to hype up the crowd. Cool, you've got a street fight with your town city name on. This is sick. But I can make this short, sweet, and easy. They're going to batter each other. Lots of blood. Hopefully Drew doesn't Crimson Mask himself again, because that was not a fun thing. Hopefully, I want to see a street fight go nuts like we had Punk and Drew, but just with no dangerous incident. Obviously, it was an accident back then, but even 14 stitches across the top of your head is nothing to sneeze at, you know? And it's great that Drew's come back in this form. But that being said, we have to take into an account that Drew's been in many street fights. His last street fight, he got really quite injured.
Well, they said he reopened the cop, didn't they?
Yeah, like that's going to play on Drew's mind walking into this match. You know, it wouldn't be surprised if on the commentary desk we get that comment of how's he feeling coming into this street fight with the last street fight he was in. You know, they'll put it in a shorter way.
Yeah. Give me your prediction.
This is the thing, because you've got two badasses that we've seen them in both in street fights.
Pick one. Who are you going for? Who is your pick here?
Damian Priest or double knockout?
Okay. What, in a street fight?
Yeah, double. They can't stand. No longer able to continue.
Wild with these weird bookings. All right, Deeks, give me your prediction. Quick.
It's Mania, man. You need to run wild.
After what Priest done with Finn, I'm going to go Priest.
Okay, interesting. I think there's more of a story to tell. Especially with the fact that Drew has taken Priest cross. So I think there's going to be a bigger story there to do with that. So I'm going Drew McIntyre because I think Priest. I think he's going to get retaliation.
Definitely a big one to watch.
All right, here's one that's very controversial in types of match. Io Sky, current women's world champion, against Bianca Belair against Rhea Ripley. I can make this nice and easy.
So me too. You go first.
Look, I like the fact that Bianca was already obviously in the match of winning the chamber. I think everyone is downplaying a lot of the story. People are moaning about Bianca Belair. People are moaning that Bianca Belair is getting booed because she isn't the favorite in this triple threat match. Obviously, Rhea being added in with what's going on, obviously losing her title to Io. I think there's so much happening, but I think everyone is overlooking Io Sky. Every single time something's happened, Io Sky has been the one that's been pushed, punched, thrown away. Like she's just downplayed. Yeah, everything. Io has been the one that's basically taken a beating by both women, and she finally retaliated recently, and that
clean house.
So my thing is this: I think Io Sky retains, and I think it's going to happen really, really well. These women are I reckon. Now I know we're saying about potentially match of the night. I think if booked right, these three could kill it. They potentially have match of the weekend. So I'm going Io Sky.
I think that Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley will be so up to their eyeballs in each other again, like we've seen in the past, that they get so distracted by one another being in the same ring that Io picks up the win just because they're not concentrating on how badass Io Sky really is.
Okay. Diggs?
So who are you going for, Shades? Sorry, you said they didn't really give me an answer.
I think that Rhea Ripley and Bianca will be so up to their eyeballs in each other. Yeah. With how they've been in the past few weeks, they're going to be way too distracted, and Io Sky picks up the win.
Okay, so you got Io Sky as well. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for the EST to win at WrestleMania for the fourth time, I believe.
Okay. Any reasoning behind it?
She's on a roll at WrestleMania at the moment, being four wins in a row. She hasn't lost a title match at WrestleMania yet either. So WrestleMania is in her favor, I'm going to say. So for me, Io Sky is going to lose to Bianca Belair.
All right, cool. Interesting. Take that. All right. Here we go, guys. We are there. Taking an hour and 15 minutes, but we are there. Here we go. Cody
Cody
Rhodes
to win.
against John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship. You said that very, 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 very quick.
Cody to win. Hands down.
Why?
Who cares, man?
Explain
Who
yourself.
cares? Oh, I'm John Cena. I'm in the Rock's back pocket. I want my 70. Cody to win. I just don't.
You're not enjoying this John Cena heel turn thing, then? No?
I don't like it, but there's not a John Cena shirt in my wardrobe. There's a Cody Rhodes one.
Okay. Diggs?
The whole world wants Cody to win, and unfortunately, he isn't going to win.
Come on,
Cena's going to win. He's going to walk off with the title. He's going to disappear with the title, and this way we get a new title, which is better looking than what we've got now.
Look, I like the idea of Cena walking over the title. This is what I think is going to happen. I think Cena is going to win. I do think Cena's going to do something with the title. However, I think before he walks away with the title, as he's saying he's going to walk away with it, that's not the case. Whoever he drops that, whatever the last pay-per-view is of that year, is going to be the person that takes that off Cena.
Well, he's leaving in December, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is November's PLE?
I'm just checking now, and it should be Survivor Series. Saturday night's main event.
I don't see it happening there. I see it happening in like a big PLE.
Survivor Series War Games. So War Games is assumed as November, and Saturday night's main event. It says Q4 of 2025. There's no doubt and no date announced.
I can see it being a War Games thing with Cody Rhodes again if John Cena does win.
Okay. You think Cody's still going to be chasing that title though?
Hell yeah.
By the end of the year. All right, interesting.
But we're not. No one has said anything about the final bell bottoms.
Well,
does he get involved at Mania?
Well, this is my prediction. Cena wins, right? We've already spoke about Randy Orton. We've already kind of gave a prediction of what we think could happen to Randy at that point. Go and check.
You can see that in a recent vid.
So if we was to like bypass what we said about Randy, then
I want to punt Cena in the head, please.
But what I will say is, have you seen what has been advertised of recently about what's coming next?
Go on.
The PLE. So I'm just going to get the graphic up for you. So WWE Backlash, right? Obviously,
yeah.
PLE, yes, for 2025. Now, hopefully this loads. Sorry, gentlemen. Hopefully it loads. Basically, Randy Orton was on the cover, right? And the way it's made, it's very interesting. I can't get the graphic. But yeah,
I still want to see
like
John Cena get punted.
I feel like Randy Orton is 100% involved in something that's going to go down.
I don't see Randy punting Cody. I see Randy punting Cena.
Why would you see? Why would Randy punt Cena though?
Because why not? He's trying to take wrestling away. He wants to screw wrestling over.
Yeah.
Cody and Randy have the nice little friendship going on. They have a lot of good history.
Right.
And I don't want to see Randy punt Cody. We're going to get a Randy Orton punt in this match.
Right, let me ask you this. When Randy and they were part of Legacy, Cody and Randy were teaming, Right? Who was the one who turned on who?
I got to bring this up.
Who was the one who turned on who? Yeah.
I get your point. Yeah.
So why would we then not get Randy Orton being the one to turn on him?
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
So you think if we're gonna get a punt, it'll be a Cody punt?
I think if we're getting if there's a punt happening, it's coming from Randy Orton, and I think the punt is going to happen to Cody.
Ooh. Okay.
And I think that's how, as I said, I think that's how we get the win here for. That's how we get the win here for what's going on with John Cena and stuff like that. I think that's. I don't know. I think the story for it just makes more sense. I've got the graphic. Sorry, I can find the thing.
Take the predictions aside for this match. How do you feel just going into this match without a prediction? Like, how does it make you feel to see this match happening?
I generally like it. I do like the idea.
It's a unique style. Unique stipulations that are not revolved around direct who has, it's weird. It's like almost like, I don't want to bring up the past when CM Punk took the ball and went home.
Yep.
Now Cena wants to take his ball and go home.
All right. This is what I'm going to read out to you, right? This is what Triple H put up on Twitter. This is the graphic, by the way, gentlemen.
I love that graphic.
Yeah, just your thoughts on this, guys? Big thoughts?
It's a very clever graphic. I do like it, and it should be.
What does that say on the left, just under the snake head?
It says Randy Orton.
Cool. It's a bit small.
However, this is what Triple H put on Twitter. For every WrestleMania moment, there is a backlash.
So,
and then posted that photo. So
why is it when you said that the first thing that popped into my head was Cody being punted?
Yeah.
And then we get the backlash of Cody and Randy. Which frees up John Cena if he does win.
Exactly. We have got a comment here. Someone says, hello. Hi. Thank you for joining the channel. Yep. Man, I'm intrigued. Look, I generally think this is what's going to happen. Okay, Randy Orton's going to come out. Everyone's going to cheer thinking that Randy Orton's going to help Cody Rhodes. And then as we're standing there, I reckon the ref's going to be knocked out. The Rock's going to come out. Cody will hit maybe the Rock with a Cody cutter or something like that. Right, and get him out of the equation. Out comes Randy Orton. We think he gets a big pop. Randy's busy. He stands there. He does his moment, and then when he goes to shake hands with Cody, we get an RKO. Okay, and then maybe even we get a punt followed up by that. John Cena looking at amazement, or even down on the floor. Randy helps up John Cena. Randy gets out of the ring, walks back, and then the ref comes in. Cena hits his AA, and then that's how he wins. I think it's going to be a tainted victory for John Cena.
That would be cool.
I generally think it's going to be a tainted victory for John Cena. Cena wins, he's not winning clean. And I think that's what's needed. I want that asterisk of Cena winning, but it's not clean. Especially for his big one.
He takes the record. He's remembered for the record, but it's tainted.
Exactly. And I think that is incredible. I love that idea that Cena wins.
I like it.
But it's tainted with cheating. Not how Cena would won the other 16. So
why if Randy also punts The Rock?
I mean, he could do, but then if he's siding with The Rock, then it makes sense for that to... Unless Randy's is in business for himself.
What if he just punts everyone?
He just comes out, RKOs and punts everyone and walks backstage.
We've got spears for everyone. Now I predicted punts for everyone. This is a very violent Mania.
It is. Deeks, gives your prediction. Who are you saying? I'm going John Cena.
Cody Rhodes.
Cena.
All right. We're gonna leave it there. Right now, I'm gonna ask this. One time. Okay, that means we each get something to suggest. Okay, I don't want long tangents. We've gone for over an hour. Hold yourself and control yourself. Shades, I'm more talking about you than anything else.
Hey. If you're about to bring up what I think you're going to bring up, then you can't hold back the dogs barking in Essex.
Control yourself. You have to control yourself. Right.
I will try.
Other than I have the power to mute. All right. Other than the fact that the card is now done, right, and it's set up the way it is. Yes, it's taken a little while, and it did take the last 2 weeks to kind of fill in them gaps. For a while, there was only like 5 matches.
Mm-hmm.
We've now got our 13 matches combined. Okay?
We could make it an even number on Friday. Just bear that in mind.
Yeah. Obviously, this is before SmackDown. Other than what we've already had, my gripe, I want everyone to be able to give one gripe. I don't want a 4-hour tangent from each person. All right, this is my gripe.
I have a big gripe.
I don't like the fact here for WrestleMania. One, that we still got the Andre Memorial Battle Royal happening on SmackDown. Why, when that was a WrestleMania thing? The tag titles, the other tag titles that the men are carrying, isn't being defended on this show. And on top of that, Chelsea Green isn't on the show, and she's the United States Women's Championship. Lyra Valkyria is on the show, and she isn't defending her mid-card title, which is the IC title. The mind boggles at how they've got all these titles. We have all this wrestle time on a 2-hour kickoff, both nights, guys. Right?
Isn't it a 3-hour kickoff?
Hang on. It is a 2-hour kickoff, a 4-hour show, and what I've read, a 3-hour pre-show. That's 18 hours combined of WWE TV time over 2 nights. And we can't get another 4 matches on the card, even on the pre-show. It's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's frustrating, and it's annoying me. Now, that's my gripe. Everything else about this is great. Like, I'm happy that we're there, we're done. All right? However, that's my only gripe with the way they've done it. I think they've really boo-booed the fact that there's some titles on there that really need to be showcased. For what's the point in having the titles if they're never going to use them? Like, it makes no sense. So that's my gripe. I'll let Deeks have his one because I know, Shade, you're going to go on for about 5 hours and we'll probably be here tomorrow. So, Deeks, if there's any gripes, any things that you feel like Mania should have changed before we see the show, is there any thoughts and opinions on any of it that you think?
I agree with your gripe. Definitely, they need to fix that problem of the titles not all being on the line, especially since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But my big gripe is the main event, night one, shouldn't be the main event. That's my big gripe. I hate it being a main event.
Roman Reigns, CM. So we're saying your biggest gripe here is this is the main event?
Yes, it shouldn't be. It should not be the main event. It should not be there.
In your opinion, then, what should have main evented night one?
Should be either Uso or Uso. Should be Uso or Charlotte main event in night one.
Okay. See, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Obviously, we know why. But that's valid. That's a valid gripe. Obviously, if you want to hear more, then obviously go back and check out our no main event video where we talk about the 2 Rumble winners not winning. The 2 Rumble winners winning the Rumble but not main eventing. All right. Now, Shades, I've told you, control yourself. I have the power to press remove. Right? Control. Give us your gripe, please.
My gripe. Where to begin? And not go on a violent tangent.
Over the remove.
Hold on.
No violent tangent. Constructive feedback. That is what
I'm waiting for 5 seconds.
Come on, we're live.
2-minute time limit, go. The fact that WrestleMania is just a sheer shambles anyway in the past 3 weeks of only 5 matches Well, it was 6, but sadly, yes, Kevin Owens got injured. We do hope you get better. Good luck on your surgery. The fact that then we dropped down to 5 matches and you had people like me making the jokes of we're going to have 2 matches on night 1 and 4 hours of Pepsi commercials.
Yeah.
You got the best tag team division currently in the world on SmackDown, not even appearing on WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
The hell? You know? Just stupid. You've got 2 Royal Rumble winners. No main event. Go watch the video.
Mm-hmm.
We go into many gripes there.
Yep.
And now you've got stupid match. And I'm going to agree. No, you don't need. Yes, we all love CM Punk. He's great. You know, we've all been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
Great. You wanted the main event. Fine. You got it. Should be for a title. It shouldn't be for this triple threat of Paul Heyman. You know?
Yeah.
And like, how can you prep and plan Mania in basically a week? Is what they've done.
Yeah, it does feel very.
You know, they probably had in their board meeting. They put loads of pictures out. Cool, we make this triple threat and this tag team and this tag. Oh, we won't have this tag team. Put them back on SmackDown, but we'll have this tag team. I love the War Raiders. They're great, but their opponents do not deserve to be at Mania.
I will be honest. Sorry, I don't want to cut in quickly, but I will be honest. With the War Raiders, okay, great. But the Street Profit stuff that they've been doing so far has been such great work.
If it would have been the Street Profits, I wouldn't be saying that they don't deserve the Mania spot. Right now, the War Raiders do, but because it's New Day, it should be the SmackDown division in the Raw spot.
Yeah.
You know, and like, where do we come to this now? It's not Kevin's fault. He got injured. Thank you for giving everything you have to wrestling and putting your body on the line in that ladder match with Cody, where you picked up an injury. We do hope you get better. Now we have literally one of the hardest people with the crowd, Randy Orton. And you have Nick Aldis in the ring getting RKO'd. I get the storyline, I do, but and then who was it that come out? It was who come out to with Randy?
Security, no?
No. Another.
It was Solo Sikoa.
What? Make that match. That's a great match right there. So you got Solo and Randy in a ring at Mania, but you don't make it. So many missed opportunities. You could go on for hours at the prep and the planning. Know, and we say again, it's not Randy's fault. It's not Kevin's fault that situation happened. Injuries do happen, and this is a pretty big one that requires surgery.
Yeah.
But if you had that moment right there with Orton and Solo, then you've had their history.
Yeah, but
you've had their history. There was something. You know,
yeah, but then
little bits of conflict in the past.
Let me ask you this question: if they'd have just got rid of the thing, they'd announced the thing with Kevin Owens, Solo Sikoa come out straight away and attack Randy, would your first initial thought be, oh, well, they're just using Solo as a cover because Kevin Owens isn't there? Because that's what I would have done. It would have
been we go back to the sloppiness that this is, and of course, it's not Kevin Owens' fault that he got injured. Take Kevin Owens completely out of it. It's still sloppy how they did the Randy and Solo. Solo didn't need to be there.
I think the best thing now, right, that can happen with Randy Orton, as we've already discussed, is I think if Randy Orton appears anywhere at WrestleMania, it's here. I think now the place where Randy Orton sits is right here. Because it makes sense. So even with the Kevin Owens stuff, great. But we still would have liked to have seen it happen because Randy has history with both of these men. Randy got turned against by Cody Rhodes, again the legacy.
Yeah.
And Randy has had a feud more than once with John Cena.
Yeah.
And they're big rivals. So I just think if anything's going to happen, the person that we'd love to see John Cena face, if he wins his title now at Mania, we'd love to see, because obviously this is going to be the last time we see Cena in this thing. So we want to see him have another feud with CM Punk. We'd want to see him have another feud with Randy Orton. If it was possible, not obviously he's in AEW, but if we even have the sliver of a chance, we'd love to see Cena go one more time against Edge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like the greatest hits. So at some point, Randy Orton needs to appear somewhere. And if they can't do it because of what's happened with Kevin Owens, they're going to pull the trigger and it's going to happen here. And I think that's what's going to happen. But I agree with you. The rest of the gripe, I agree with. Deeks, thoughts on obviously what's been said? Are you in agreement, disagreement?
Yeah, I agree with most of it. Yeah, definitely most of it.
Yeah. It just feels like, to me, in my opinion, as I was saying this to you on our car journey the other day, right?
Yeah.
Is that they've had enough time here they know when WrestleMania is.
Yeah.
They have from Rumble to build up to it, right? Just to start setting stuff, putting stuff in, setting it in stone. Obviously, the Chad Gable thing with being El Grande Americano and all this stuff, that we joked about. This whole build here, this has been going on for weeks, months. We know where this is coming from.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've got enough time to do something like this. Yet, the rest of it, this happened 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. How is this going on at WrestleMania, for example, Logan versus AJ? Yet,
you see, you could take this out and put the SmackDown tag in there.
But you don't even have to do that there. The women's obviously the women's tag is happening I believe night 2, right, of WrestleMania. However, we've still got 4 hours worth of pre-show. Put matches on the pre-show. It's not
Put matches on the post-show.
You want people to no, because the post-show's after. The pre-show.
Yeah, but you can still have a match there. Going, just anything.
No, because that's after WrestleMania. The last thing. Then
what I would like to see? WrestleMania matches, pre-show, NXT stuff on the post.
No, because if you do stuff on the post-show, NXT then main event WrestleMania. This is the main event. Anything after this then becomes the main event. That's the gripe. This is the gripe. Has to be the last match of the night. So anything has to be before then. You have 4 hours worth of pre-show. Put them on the pre-show. It's not hard. Give them 10 minutes. They don't need long. Give them 10 minutes. Like that's my biggest gripe here. Like put them on the pre-show. You have the time. The thing that was made for WrestleMania, Andre the Giant's Memorial Battle Royal, the thing that's supposed to be used at WrestleMania is now on SmackDown. What a waste of time. If you're going to put it on SmackDown, just take it away. Stop doing it. If it was that important to WrestleMania, you'd still have it on WrestleMania. Clearly, it isn't.
You could easily put the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on the pre-show. Easy.
Yeah. Because you just filled it up with the rest of the talent that's not being used.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do.
And then more talent get their WrestleMania spot.
Exactly. They're on the card. It's about being on a WrestleMania card for some of them. But yeah, we'll leave the gripe there. I feel like we could talk about this till we're frustrated. All right. Obviously, we'll leave it there.
Tangent back in. I hate the WrestleMania logo.
Oh no. Well, we'll get onto the logos at another point.
I hate it. It's so basic.
No, bro. We've seen a lot worse. We have seen a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, I know, but it's still basic, bro.
It screams basic.
Yeah, a couple of playing cards. To me, that screams go fish.
Well, that's your decision. Anyway, no more tangents. All right. Other than that, give me your one match that you're looking forward to the most. Let's end on a nice high. Right, give me your one match that you think you're looking forward to the most. The match that you really, really can't wait to see.
Sin City Street Fight.
Okay, fair enough. I don't need to know why, but that's fine. Obviously, we're just going to keep that away from that. Deeks, give me yours.
I think it'll be the cleanest prepared match we have.
All right, Deeks.
I'll go for a triple threat women's match.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I agree with that. I think that'll be interesting. Obviously, now because Shade gave it, just a quick overview of why.
I think it's just got the quality of the wrestlers has got it in them to steal the show completely.
Okay, fair enough, valid. Now look, hopefully this is mine, and I'll tell you why. Rey versus El Grande, because we know Chad Gable's an incredible wrestler. We know Rey Mysterio is one of the greatest luchadors, if not the greatest luchador, to walk on God's earth. Okay, I say that factually. And I just think them two together are going to have chemistry like we've never seen it before. I hope, my dream is this match is up there on par with the match that Rey had against Eddie at Halloween Havoc in 1997. I would love to see that happen.
That's doable. Doable. That's doable.
It's a hard task, man. It's a hard task.
Yes, please.
But
yes, please.
If you're going to get a special moment at WrestleMania between people that are kind of lucha based and trying to tell an incredible story with no shenanigans in the background, I think these two could tell that story easily. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. So
I've got one question to end on a high note. What's your WrestleMania food going to be?
I don't know. So I haven't got there yet. I know maybe like pizza pockets. I do like a pizza pocket.
Deeks.
Whatever's in the fridge.
I was thinking maybe McDonald's and Pizza Hut.
The menu, good.
Listen. Have you not learned anything yet? We don't get paid to talk about them. You say the burger shop and the pizza shop. You don't brand them. You don't get paid for anything sponsor-wise. That's it. Come on now.
Mine, simple. Fried chicken.
All right. That could be anywhere. It might rhyme with TFP. But yes.
It might be Mr. Beard.
Yeah. Might be a captain instead of a colonel. But sure, I'm with you.
Boys, have a great Mania. Look forward to talking to you.
All right,
Everyone watching at home, have a great Mania.
See you later.